earlier we saw how to connect to the Linux virtual machine on the Azure cloud through the character mode, that is through the SSH. It's a character mode. But Ubuntu has a kind of a desktop as well, which will have GUI. So in this session, we'll see how to create a desktop and then access it from a remote desktop option application from the Windows machine. So there are a set of commands which needs to be executed on the Linux environment. So we will execute one after the other. This is there available in the resources section. So you could download this and then you need to run one after the other. So the first one is just to update. So in the whatever earlier we had connected with PuTTY, that is the SSH we are using. So you need to run the script one after the other. The first one is of course just to ensure that all the scripts are the latest. So just update it. So this should always depending upon the internet speed, it will get completed. Yeah, this has got completed. So the update is done. The next one is, this is the GUI. It's pronounced as XFCE. So we need to install that. That's the GUI for the Ubuntu. So we'll install that. So this is 22%, 23%. You see here the percentage of completion as well. So this is progressing nicely. Sometimes, yeah, as I said, if your internet is slow, you will see that. So in that case, yeah, you just run it and then you can do some other work also parallelly. So now it is extracting. Configuring the light DM. Say light DM is okay. Sometimes it will ask for, there are two options it will give. Light DM, another one is also there, but light DM is a better one. I say okay, yeah, here it is. We'll choose light DM, that is it's a lightweight one, so we'll choose that itself. So the GUI part has got completed. The next one is we need to install the remote desktop server and then we need to enable it. So we'll do that. So we are going to install the remote desktop. Yeah, it has completed quite fast. And then we need to enable it as well. So enable that. That should is completed pretty fast, enabling. So there are a few more steps to be done. So we will see that in the subsequent presentation. Thank you. We will continue with the rest of these steps. So initially we install the GUI, remote desktop GUI on the Ubuntu, and then follow that up with the remote desktop server itself. And now we enable the server as well. This is a command, and now we need to link both of them. Configure XRDP to use XFCE as your desktop environment. So now we need to link both of them. So we have linked it. Now we need to restart so that whatever the changes are there, it takes into effect. So let's link it, let's restart. So that's restarted. Next one is, of course, when you want to try to log in, when you are trying to log into the character mode, we had that key, Patijan, we created the key or we downloaded the key, we referred the key to connect to the instance, that is a Linux version. But in case of the GUI, you have to use the password. So sudo password Azure user, sudo password Azure user. So give the password. So this password, when you want to connect through the desktop, remote desktop, you need to enter the same password. I've given my password. So passwords are updated correctly. And finally, it's about the port opening. So we need to open the port. So for that, this is the command. This is a command which needs to be run on the Cloud Shell. So Cloud Shell is a kind of an interface between the cloud environment and the instance. So EZVM open port, resource group, group name, and the name of the machine, and the port 883389 is the port on which we need to open up. So copy this. So this needs to go into the, because it's a kind of a interface between the cloud and the instance, this needs to be run on the Cloud Shell. So Cloud Shell is over here. So click on that. So this will open up on the bottom. Requesting Cloud Shell succeeded connecting to the terminal. So this, yeah, now it's connected to the Cloud Shell. So you execute this command. We are opening demo1 is the resource group, and demo putty is our machine name, and the port is 3389. Starting, running. So actually, if you look at it, you can also do it over here. Do it over here in the sense on the network tab. So whatever entry we have put through the Cloud Shell, it gets reflected here. So, or otherwise, you can add the inbound as well, inbound port rule. You can add over here or run it from the Cloud Shell. Both the ways you could do. We have taken the approach of running it in the Cloud Shell. So now that we have done the necessary setup, we will, in the next stage, we will try connecting to the remote desktop. Thank you. Stay tuned. So type in the remote desktop. So you need to click on this one. So the remote desktop connection icon has come up. You need to ensure that whatever is the IP which you want to connect, enter over here, and show option will show the username also. We are going to use Azure user, and click on connect. So I hope we'll be, so most likely we should be successful. So this screen, identity of the remote cannot be verified. You want to connect. So if this is this screen comes up, that means there is some handshake which is happening. So you can be 50% confident that the connection will go through. Anyway, fingers crossed. Let's see the connection goes through. Configuring remote section. Yeah. Let's now give the password which we had initially given while configuring it. And yes, we have successfully connected to the Ubuntu desktop. You can check all the icons over here. You can also connect to the terminal from the Ubuntu also. So you have the, you can also, I mean, it's just like the character mode. So from here also you can, I mean, you can execute all the scripts. Web browser, if you click, it says fail because web browser isn't been installed. So we'll see how to install it in the subsequent presentation. So we have successfully connected to the remote desktop of Azure Linux virtual machine. Thank you. So now that we have the GUI version of Ubuntu and we have connected to the remote desktop, and as we saw, like it doesn't have a browser installed, it shows an error. So we can install a browser. We'll fetch the Google Chrome and install it. So why at all we need about browser is that some of the application we need a browser. Say for example, Jupyter Notebook. You have Python over here. Python, if you say Python 3, you have a Python over here, but unfortunately you don't have Jupyter Notebook. Suppose if you want to have that installed, because Jupyter Notebook works, I'm just giving an example, Jupyter Notebooks works with a browser. So you need, in that case, you need a browser. So first, initially, we need to download the browser and then perform an install. So we'll go about doing that. So we'll get the Google Chrome browser that has been downloaded, and again all this are there in the resources file. Whatever the commands, you can see that in the resources file, wget http. I got that Google Chrome 64 bit version. So I have downloaded. The next step is to install. So we will install. So I've run that command. I'll say yes. So this again depends on the browser, I mean the internet speed. So this is progressing. So so it is completed. So once your installation is complete, go here into home, and you have the Google Chrome version, and yeah, I think it is already open. Yes, it's already open. You can set as default. Into the this folder you'll find the Google Chrome. Just double click on that. You will have that set as default, and then if you say google.com, it should open up. So that's about it. I mean, you have a Google Chrome browser installed in the Ubuntu machine as well. Thank you. Stay tuned.